We are back on the NFL charge on the Turf and Touchdowns podcast, not necessarily focusing on live NFL action. That's still a way away. You haven't fallen into a coma and woken up. It's draft time on the Turf and Touchdowns podcast. We'll be looking forward to our top draft picks and also what we think our teams are going to be doing. That's the Seahawks for me, if it hasn't been a giveaway, and the Green Bay Packers for Tom. But draft day is coming, Tom. I find that the older I get, the more excited I get for the draft each year.
Yeah, I love the NFL draft. Obviously, if you watch college football, then it's just kind of the next step. It's the interlocking part between college football and the NFL. And, you know, you get to see where all these young players are moving on into their main teams. And you can get very excited if your team picks one of the guys that you really like, or be very disappointed, me, on a regular basis when we go defense. But yeah, the NFL draft is a fantastic time of the year. Look, it's not for everyone watching it, but the coverage will be on Sky Sports. We'll be tuned in across the 3 days, I'm absolutely sure. And it will be a little bit exciting. I promise you that.
It will be. We are here to try and predict a few things and hopefully try and win a bit of money from it, because you can bet on the NFL draft and there are extensive markets. The one issue I have with betting on the NFL draft, Tom, is that you're kind of betting on someone else's opinion. You're kind of betting on what you think a team will do. Last year, me and you were very keen on Brock Bowers going to the Jets, I think it was, at 9. So we bet him to be drafted inside the top 10, or inside top 10 and a half, I think. And the Raiders took him at 11.
Yeah, it was heartbreak. It really was. But that's what can happen, with the draft. As you say, it's all about trying to guess someone else's opinion, which is not the best way to bet, to be honest with you. But it's fun. There are some pointers and some angles that we will take in this podcast, and hopefully they'll be successful. I think we're both providing 3 tips each, so make sure you keep on this video for the remainder of it, and by the end you'll know who we like. I'm sure we're going to have at least 2, 3, 4 winners. Hopefully we can go 6 out of 6.
Exactly. And speaking of 2, 3, 4 winners, primarily 2, let's take a look at the Listener League, because we're giving away our second Listener League position in the NFL Draft episode. What we want you to do, because we don't want to give it out and go, say draft down below and you're in the draw. We want you to earn it just a little bit. We've not made it too hard. We want you to predict 2 landing spots. So we want you to go Cam Ward to Tennessee, 1 to 200. That's probably going to happen. There's one of them for you. But we want you to get 2 right. If you get 2 right, you are in the hat. If no one gets 2 right, then 1 right. We'll get you into the hat. But we've got 1 person already in. That's Paul Powley. So we've got 3 spots filled. And Tom, the Listener League is growing.
Yeah, for anyone who may not have seen any of our podcasts before, the Listener League is an NFL fantasy league. If you like fantasy football, maybe if you're in the UK, with the Premier League, it's kind of similar to that, but it is way better for the NFL. You don't need to be a huge NFL fan to want to enter the league. That's absolutely fine. You can just be entering for the first time into a fantasy league. We're absolutely fine with that. There is no, there is no desire just to have veterans of fantasy football. But if you are a veteran of fantasy football and you do want to play against us next season, make sure you do try. And as Luke said, you need to put 2 landing spots. So this player who's in the draft goes to this team in the comments. If you don't know enough about the draft, you can obviously listen to us and maybe put some players that we're going to mention, or just type in NFL.com, go on their mock drafts, use a couple of theirs. It's absolutely fine. As long as you're right about 1 or definitely 2, then you'll be in the hunt.
And one thing that may make us look more favourably upon you is we're playing golf today. If Tom's attire doesn't give it away, leave a comment down below. Who is going to win at golf, Luke or Tom? Just if you're new here, that's great. That's even better. Who looks like more of a golfer between me and Tom? That's it. That can be your 3rd selection down below. But comment your 2 landing spots, and hopefully we can get you in the Listener League going forward. That will be announced on our next NFL podcast. But the NFL draft is upon us. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers as well. So if you are new here, please subscribe down below. Leave a comment, leave a like. That helps us massively. Best players in the draft. I guess the talking player of this year, Tom, hasn't actually been a quarterback. We're expecting Cam Ward to go to Tennessee. Everyone's expecting that. The talking player this year, obviously on the fantasy side of things, has been Ashton Genty, who was crazy good for Boise State last year. We're expecting him to go to Vegas at pick 6. Honestly, 4 to 6 probably isn't a bad price about that, because the Vegas GM has come out and said, yeah, if he's on the board, we're taking him.
Yeah, exactly. I think he probably will land there. He is the best player in the draft, in my opinion, in terms of natural talent. But just running backs don't go early in the draft. I mean, pick 6 is quite early, very early for a running back. But it's for a reason. He is exceptional. He looks like basically Derrick Henry, but with more superpowers. It's incredible. At Boise last year, I remember every time he played, I would just send you a screenshot the next day, and you'd be like, "Yep, Genty again." He was just unbelievable. He's virtually unstoppable, which is what you need from a running back in this day and age. A guy that can run the ball, catch the ball, sorry, and also is very versatile and agile. And he's got everything it takes. So he's definitely one of the main players. I think if this draft was done just purely on talent, he'd be a top 3 pick, maybe first overall, maybe second. Travis Hunter's definitely up there as well. He plays receiver and corner. Probably more going to be corner in the NFL, but I expect him to go at pick 2 in the draft. And there are some really good unsung running backs this year that are going to go further down the order because they are running backs and they're not Genty. But they will be a massive addition to the teams they join. Quidshon Judkins, DJ Giddens. There are 2 players that I feel may go top end of round 2 that are very, very worthwhile having, especially if you're playing fantasy football next year.
100%. The running back class is very deep this year. So even if your team doesn't have a high pick, you might still get a good running back. You could go late on. Even Cam Scatterbu is a guy to watch out for as well. There's rumours of him potentially going to somewhere like San Francisco and playing behind McCaffrey for a year or 2. But there are a few players to watch out for. Honestly, I think early on we're going to be looking at more defensive line and later on offensive line as well. But there are plenty of things to look forward to, including our teams. Tom, Seattle are picking at pick 18. You guys are picking the Green Bay Packers at pick 23. What are you expecting from Green Bay in round 1?
Well, every year I say I want offense, but I think this year I do actually want defense, and we will go defense. I don't think there's any question there. Most likely a corner, I'd suggest. We could go D-line, but I think a corner is likely. If you're a Packers fan watching, maybe temper enthusiasm a little bit. We did spend quite a lot of money on Nate Hobbs in free agency, 48 million, I think it was, on a 4-year contract. But he basically plays in the slot. Jair Alexander's not going to last forever. So we need a standout corner. I mean, even if Alexander is our corner number 1 this year, we need a corner number 2 because the rest of our depth chart just is not strong right now. Carrington, Keyshawn Nixon, they're okay. They're not good enough to be out wide against some of these receivers in this league. So, yeah, I think we'll go corner in the first round. I'm absolutely fine with that. I like the fact we're boosting our defense. Last year, we looked pretty bad on that side of the ball. So that's the way I see it for sure in the first round for the Pack.
Yeah, I regards to Seattle at 18, it's kind of early to be taking inside O-lineman, but I think we will go that way. I'll get more into this in a moment as well because it does feature around one of my bets. But there's been rumours of where we might well go. Tetairoa McMillan, probably the key wide receiver in this draft class, albeit nowhere near like a Marvin Harrison hype guy from last year. He's been sort of rumoured around Seattle. I don't think we'll go that way. Obviously, Tyler Lockett's gone, and we're now looking effectively to sort of widen our wide receiver core. But I do think behind Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba, we might well be happy with having guys like Marquez Valdez-Scantling and a few others. I still think there'll be 1 or 2 others brought in as well. And also Nick Emenwuri, a safety out of South Carolina. He's been rumoured to be on our board as well, but I don't think we're going to take a safety in the first. Maybe that could be something deeper in the class. Speaking of Tetairoa McMillan, you guys are famously a team in the last couple of years that have had some very good wide receiver 2s, but you haven't got the stud. If he was on the board, would you be happy with McMillan?
Yeah, I would, but I highly doubt he'll get to 23. He has been a player that's actually been talk about where he could drop in the draft, so maybe. But yeah, I would be surprised if he was there when we pick. And we're just famously a team that doesn't trade up, especially in the first round. So yeah, I don't think he'll fall to us. If he does, then I would love him because wide receiver has been a little bit of a stumbling block since Devontae Adams left. But yeah, you know what? Next year, I'll be happy still if we have Dobbs and the big team, Christian Watson, maybe if he comes back from his injury, highly unlikely, there to go to war with. I think our wide receiver group is okay. As you say, they're a group of wide receiver 2s, really, but they can get the job done. I don't think that's the biggest need for us right now.
Let's go into our selections. We've got 3 apiece in the draft this year. Tom, your first selection, you're looking at pick number 22 with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, this is the biggest price pick that I'm going to put up a bet as well. I've actually had a few quid on this already. It's 4-1, and I like the Chargers to take a tight end in round 1. If you are looking for prices or even on Odds Checker for this, it generally comes under the category of position of first round pick. LA Chargers is who we're talking about, and tight end is my selection here at 4-1. Now, the reason I like this is because Jim Harbaugh is very much a guy that likes to take players that used to play for him. And I think they're going tight end here because Colston Loveland is in the draft and he was a former Wolverine. He played for Michigan. And I think he's going to be the perfect fit for LA. This is the spot where the Chargers have to decide whether they go defense, whether they go wide receiver, which seems unlikely, or whether they go tight end. I don't think they'll go defense. Their defense is good enough. They need targets for Justin Herbert. Herbert doesn't have enough players to throw the ball to. Loveland's a great player. He's also a very good blocker. I think a 4-1, if you could take tight end here, Loveland, I think it's very likely to happen. Their tight ends right now, by the way, Will Dissly and Tyler Conklin. They are not good enough. So, yeah, give me tight end for the Chargers. I think that's a very fair price.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Chargers need receivers. They need them in a rather big way as well. Tetero McMillan, he probably won't be there, as you say. So, I mean, 22 will be very late for him. There have been sort of sightings of Emeka Ibuka out of Ohio State potentially going there, but again, I'm not 100% sure. But I do like the angle for you with tight end, and I'm actually going to lead into that or thrive off of it by going tight end for my pick as well. However, I'm not going to go for the Chargers. I'm going to go for the Bears' position of their first pick as a tight end. Now, this is a weird one because you might look at this and think, well, some of the prices are a bit odd. For the Bears to pick Tyler Warren, just Tyler Warren, 7-2. For the Bears' first position pick to be a tight end, there's 11-2 out there.
Yeah,
so,
that's weird.
I mean, it's bookmakers taking different opinions. And they're being wrong, effectively, because they are wildly wrong. But 11-2 for a tight end. The Bears need a receiver. Keenan Allen is gone. That frees up 70 catches to replace. He had 70 catches last year. They only brought in Olamide Zaccheaus, who, look, he's a good three. Honestly, he's a good three, and he will catch plenty of balls this year, and he'll be productive in games. But Chicago did very well in not protecting, but supporting Caleb Williams last year. They didn't protect him, though. But Ben Johnson has come in from Detroit. He's taken over as head coach, and that's his first job. Within literally a week, he had the new offensive line in there. He brought in Jonah Jackson, he brought in Joe Tooney, and he brought in Drew Dolman as well as a new center. So they're protecting Caleb Williams. He's still got DJ Moore to throw the ball to, and he's still got Roma Dunze, who I think will take a big step this year. But regards to other receivers, I know they've got one or two guys, Cole Kmet, in the tight end room. I think they could go for Tyler Warren, but I'll just open it up for all tight ends at 11-2. Ben Johnson, let's not forget, 2 years ago, he had Sam Laporta in the NFL draft, and he made him a sensation in his rookie season. I know he wasn't quite as good last year, but Ben Johnson loves using rookie tight ends. We've seen that in the past. He loves using tight ends full stop. As I say, 11-2, that's just far too big. I don't think they'll go O-line because I think Chicago have pretty much almost fixed their O-line. That looks to be okay. I think they'll go tight end. For me, it'll be tight end or running back. I don't think they'll want to go running back so early because you've got Ashton Genty, who will likely be off the board at that point. I don't see anyone trading up to get into the top 5 to get Ashton Genty. I think that would be a mistake as well. I don't think you're taking Amari and Hampton this early, so that leaves you with a tight end. I think 11-2, Tom, is a great bet.
Yeah, I can certainly see it, and I like that we're both going for tight ends. It's not really a position that you generally see in the first round all that often from year to year. So, if even just one of us at 4-1, 11-2 can land this, then we've made significant profit.
Yeah, I think that could be a good start regards to the draft. But we're going to go back to you for the next pick because we're looking away from tight ends now, and you're looking at a team that you've liked the last couple of years, the Ravens.
Yeah, they've got so many offensive weapons, the Ravens. Their O-line is fantastic. Lamar Jackson is great. Obviously, Derrick Henry at running back, one of the best, if not, well, probably just one of the best in the league. Their wide receivers, I think, are solid, if not amazing. Tight end, they've still got Mark Andrews, albeit he's definitely getting on. But Isaiah Likely as well. They don't need any offensive players, especially in the first round. They might get some depth later in the draft, but not in the first round. So they're going defense. Their secondary is probably one of the best in the league. I don't think that is out there to say that. Surely they just go D lineman or edge here. It just seems so just easy, doesn't it? 11-10 with bookmakers for the Baltimore Ravens first round to go D lineman or edge. If you look at their D lineman and their edge rushers, bearing in mind they're in a division with the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, and a brilliant offense. You need to put pressure on Burrow. That is the number one rule to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. They're also in the division with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've got an okay offense. This year, they've now got DK Metcalf, also George Pickens, and maybe they'll have Aaron Rodgers. Therefore, you've got to put pressure on Aaron Rodgers. Then there's the Browns, but we'll completely leave them out of things. So the whole MO this season for the Ravens is to get pressure. Their current D linemen and edge rushers consist of Kyle Van Noy, who's in his 12th year, and a load of players that I just think are okay. There is no other standout in this team at this position. So I think they have to go a D lineman or an edge rusher. 11 to 10 seems huge. I would take 4 to 6 about this, to be honest with you. Maybe they'll go for the guy out of Boston College. They could also go for Harmon from Oregon. There are a couple of other options as well at the point where Baltimore will be picking. But I really like this one, Luke, and I can't see it being a loser, to be honest with you.
No, that could well be the way that the Ravens go. They need help on defense because Mike McDonald left. A few guys left as well last year. And the defense was fine. Wasn't Baltimore standards from recent years. So they do need help in that regard. One team that need help as well is my team, the Seattle Seahawks. We need help big time on the O-line. It was awful last year. Geno Smith had to get rid of the ball quickly. We've brought in Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is terrible under pressure. We've seen that in recent years. We need to protect him as well as possible. We've brought in a receiver in Cooper Kupp, who is a guy that you can get the ball out quickly. We know Jackson Smith-Njigba is that kind of guy as well. So, interesting on that front. And we have said we want to run the ball a little bit more. I think we're going to go O-line for our first pick. Now, our first pick is at pick number 18, which is a little early. Honestly. But there have been so many rumors, and pretty much anyone that you listen to will say that Seattle want Gray's Abel from North Dakota State. He's a guy that his stock's been rising in recent weeks. He went to the Senior Bowl. He looked fantastic. I think he only gave up 1 sack last year, full stop. But we need a guy like him to come in because he's versatile. He can play anywhere. He can play center. He can play guard. I think he even tried tackle at times last year as well. There have been rumors, I mentioned earlier on, of Tetero McMillan or Nick Emenworry coming in. We are 7-1 to pick a safety first. I think that's worth just having a saver just to sort of cover your stake because 7-1 is a very big price. And like I say, there have been rumors regards to Nick Emenworry. I think he will still be around, but a guy that just keeps on rising on the draft stock is Gray's Abel. He seems to be the guy that we're all in on. And at 10 to 11, it's a short price, but this is the obvious place. Everyone knows that Seattle need to improve their O-line. So I'm going to go boring, Tom, for our first pick, and I'm going to go Gray's Abel, but in general, O-line.
Hey, it's not boring if you get a winning selection, that's for sure, and it will help your team as well, so I can certainly see that. My final selection is the same as you. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Yeah, I want you to do the thing.
Okay, cool. Well, you've got to...
No, I want you
No,
to do
you
the
got to
thing.
do that.
No, I want you to do the thing.
It's time for the joint play!
Love it.
Right. Okay, Denver Broncos.
Look how much effort you put into that. Your cheeks are a bit flushed now. You're like, whew, that's effort.
I'm feeling it. Right. Denver Broncos, position of first round pick, running back. 7-5 with bookmaker, 6-4 in place. You might get a little bit shorter as well with 1 or 2, but make sure you shop around to find the best price here. We both love this spot. Now, I'll give my case for it, and then Luke will obviously back up. Firstly, the Broncos need a running back. They have talent in other offensive positions. At running back, they seem pretty slim. They have plenty of players, but not much in terms of pure breakout speed, agility, talent, if you want to say that. Audric Estime could be a little bit of something, but we don't know as of yet. So I think the Broncos don't trust any of their running backs, and they're going to have to go to that spot at some point in the draft. The first round is hopefully where we hope they do it. At wide receiver, they've got enough talent there to last them through the year. They're all young players as well. Even Devon Vele, who's, I think, 27, but he's only in his second year. So they're all inexperienced. They could go Tet McMillan in the first round, but I feel like it's unlikely. Obviously, they've got Bo Nix QB. They don't need a QB. Their O-line is brilliant. Their defense is generally just super strong, and they've made loads of additions at tight end and on their defense throughout the free agency. So I feel like running back is such an obvious place. It's very much like the Ravens a second ago in what I was saying about D linemen. Isn't it obvious that they just take Amarian Hampton here? Like, he's just the key player and the perfect player for this Broncos team. 7-5, this is free money, Luke.
I think it is. Literally, I was going to say, do we get an extra point if we predict who goes to Denver? And my line is, deep class for running backs. Amarian Hampton should still be on the board with Genti going at 6.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, so in our Dynasty League, I've got the 101 because I managed to trade for it. I've got the 105 and the 109. If Amari and Hampton goes to Denver, I may try and trade up and get the 102 as well, because I think Genty and Hampton would be the 1-2 in a non-superflex league. I think this is a perfect landing spot for Amari and Hampton. He's a hard runner. He's a guy that Denver need as well. Last year we saw Javonte Williams try and be that guy. He's no longer there. He's in Dallas now, Javonte Williams. They brought in, as you say, guys at other positions as well. Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga, they're on defense now for Denver. They brought in Evan Engram, so they've potentially solved their tight end issues. You're running out of positions, honestly, to try and get more guys out. Their O-line's good. Their D-line's good. Defense on a whole is very good. So that leaves you with a running back. Honestly, I expected this price to be more 4 to 6 rather than 7 to 5. But I think 7 to 5 is a great price. If you can get a specific bet on it being Amari and Hampton, I think go for that. Obviously it would have to be bigger than 7 to 5 for sure, but I do think they go running back. I think the Broncos will absolutely smash their pick as well with Amari and Hampton, and also picking at what 21 is it? Mm-hmm. Or sort of early 20s for the Broncos. I think that's pick 20. I think that's absolutely fine to be taking a running back. I know early with Ashton Genty might be a bit too early, but you get an Ashton Genty. With Amari and Hampton, pick 20 is absolutely fine. That is the joint play. Tom, if you could run us through your selections, that would be lovely.
Yeah, my selections are the Chargers, position of first round pick, tight end at 4 to 1. The Ravens, position of first round pick, D lineman / edge rusher at 11 to 10. And the Denver Broncos, position of first round pick, running back at 7 to 5. That would be my best bet.
I have gone for 3 of them. The Bears, position of first pick, tight end, that's 11 to 2. That's a massive price. Be quick, take that price now, because that will not last much longer. So go find it, take that price of 11 to 2. The Seahawks, my team, I think we're going to go O-line in the first round. In particular, I think we'll go Gray Zabel. That position is 10 to 11 at the moment, but the Seahawks need help in their O-line. Said it for years. This is the year we try and fix it. And the Broncos, position of first pick, that's my best bet as well, is 7 to 5. Honestly, I think the Seahawks are very likely to, but the price is shorter. I think 7 to 5 is far better value in regards to running back, and I think that should be a much shorter price. That's our look at the NFL draft. Leave comments down below. Who do you want your team to get, and where do you think players will go? And that is also how you enter for the Listener League as well. In our next NFL video, we're doing the draw for that. Everyone who manages to get 2 out of 2 or the best possible placing, they will be entered into the draw. We need you to leave player and what team they're going to go to. So Cam Ward to the Tennessee Titans. There's your first one for you. You fill the rest in with someone else. But, Tom, it's NFL again. We're getting there. We're about 25% of the way through the offseason.
I think it's like 140 days until the NFL season starts, which is still a long time. But, we're getting there, as you say. Just a couple of bits of housekeeping here. Firstly, the NFL draft's on April 25th, I think, maybe. It's definitely the end of next week. So if you didn't know that and you did want to watch it live, or you're wondering how long you've got to place bets if you want to follow us in, then that is the time. Next Thursday or Friday, I think it's Friday, it's the first day of the NFL draft, and it lasts for 3 days on Sky Sports. And also, what was the other thing I was going to say? Yes, the next podcast will be a kind of a recap or review of the draft. We'll, again, find a bet on the back of it, whether it's a team we like a little bit more for the Super Bowl, whether we like a team to win the division now due to the rookies they've picked up, or whatever. But it will be in maybe 2 weeks from now, week and a half from now. So that's when the Listener League position will be awarded.
Yeah, we will be doing NFL videos more consistently. It'll be likely bi-weekly, much like we did last year regards to that. But we will start looking towards the NFL season a lot more in the very near future. You were so close, Tom. April 24th.
Oh, it's next Thursday.
Yeah,
right.
one day out. That's when day one is of the NFL draft. But thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, subscribe down below if you enjoyed it. We've got a horse racing video as well that you can go watch right now if you're before Saturday at least. If not, go watch it anyway. Check it out and see how we did with our selections. But NFL draft podcast in the books from us on the Turf and Touchdowns podcast. Until we next get to speak to you guys, stay safe, look after them.